written it all down. I need my glasses. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming. My name is Lisa Albanez, and I am truly humbled to speak about Nicole. Just looking around here today, it is truly amazing, and it's amazing just to see how many lives she touched and really what a huge impact she made in all of our lives. I know she's looking down on us right now, happy and thankful that she brought us all together to celebrate her, to celebrate friendships and family, because that's what she treasured most. And we all know she loved a good party too. I've known Nicole for over 12 years, and like so many of you, I had the privilege of calling her a true friend. She indeed was part of my crew, one of my people, one of my best friends. I must be honest in the thought that speaking today was tough because I wasn't sure I could make it all the way through it, as you can see. And there's really just so much to say about her. But as I started writing down my thoughts and as I share them with you now, I could clearly hear Nicole's voice in my head saying, "For God's sakes, Lisa, put your big girl panties on and just get on with it." And so I know most of us had at least one great moment with Nick, a defining moment that solidified her place in each of our lives. Because I think I was truly lucky because I had many of those unforgettable moments with her. She definitely made an impact on everyone that she came into contact with, and without saying, she commanded your attention. Simply because of who she was, you couldn't help but take notice of her. You knew soon after meeting her that she was unique and she was someone very special. Maybe it was her positive energy when she stepped into the room, or her fabulous smile, or her beautiful ginger hair. Or maybe it was her crazy sense of humor and one-liners. Or it could have been her passion and intensity. Or maybe, just maybe, it was her uncanny ability to say the most perfect thing at that perfect moment that no one else in the room would dare say. We all know that Nicole didn't mince words. She called it the way she saw it, and no one was immune. Like one night years ago when a bunch of us were out in the village, my husband Raul was wearing some jeans with some rhinestones on them. Okay, keep in mind that was a long time ago. And she said, "What the fuck? Raul's jeans are bedazzled." She never let him live that down, nor me for letting him out of the house wearing them. And when it came to more serious matters, she also wasn't afraid to let her voice be heard. What she had to say spanned generations, especially when she was concerned about you, like some of the teenagers that she knew. She was always there and available to talk, to tell them things that were for their own good or for their own safety. She was inclusive. She cared so deeply for everyone around her. She certainly never wasted time getting to the point. And looking back, she really didn't waste time doing just about anything she set her mind to. There were so many facets to Nicole, but each had a common element woven into each and every aspect of who she was, and that was her passion. And whether it was being a loving wife to Dave for 22 years, or a devoted mother to her 3 beautiful kids, Chase, Parker, and Paige, whom she loved and was so incredibly proud of and adored more than anything on this earth, she did everything she could to ensure their happiness and well-being. And as a friend, she always had a way of making you feel like you were the most important person in the room. And as a volunteer within our community, Nicole always went big. She was always first to volunteer, and she always stepped up and took on the biggest roles. She served for years on school foundations where she chaired multiple school galas, numerous cash drives, as well as many other fundraising campaigns. She was also the room parent and team mom for all of her kids' activities and sports and countless times. For the last 6 years, she was an active member of Los Patrones, an organization that she held so close to her heart, where she helped raise millions of dollars for nonprofits all over San Diego. And I was so proud to be her sponsor in Las Patronas because she had so many great talents to contribute, which extended beyond her fantastic fundraising skills. She was always willing to do the heavy lifting and was known to be one of the best when it came to using power tools to help build the jewel ball. Nicole was extremely creative too, and besides chairing several money machine committees that were responsible for raising all the funds, in 2015 for Jewel Ball Magnifique, she co-chaired the design, one of the most difficult and time-consuming jobs until her disease and health just wouldn't allow it. And while she may have been very visible doing the big jobs, she was always often behind the scenes helping others do theirs whenever she could. Like when La Jolla High's Foundation needed a new campaign slogan for their cash drive a few years back, I called Nicole for help, and within an hour she whipped out something because I needed a new slogan and logo, and she sent it to me, Quest for Success, with the logo and all. And by the way, that Quest for Success is still being used today. So needless to say, her contributions to Las Patronas and the entire community were truly immeasurable. So many of us know that Nicole also went big on social media. On Facebook, she was open, genuine, uninhibited. She was queen of the selfie. She let us in and shared her life with us. All the good, her fabulous photos of Dave and the kids, her fantastic trips and friends and relatives and all of her sweets. But she also wasn't afraid to share the bad, announcing her diagnosis on Facebook and letting us in on her battle every step of the way against it. She opened her heart and shared her entire journey with us. Remarkable, formidable, beautiful, generous, feisty, warrior, fabulous, inspirational, sassy, loving, amazing, hilarious, courageous, compassionate, infectious, lioness, and dope. These were just some of the words that I saw on so many posts used to describe Nicole. And without trying, Nicole became a true inspiration to so many of us. In fact, the other day I ran into a mutual friend who described Nicole actually perfectly to me. She said Nicole was really a teacher because through Nicole's posts she made us think about life. And in the end, she all taught us lessons on how to live. And so we all learned from her how someone could take a tough situation, face it head on, and still remain positive, taking nothing for granted along the way. Even without social media, this was Nicole's way, and she probably couldn't do it differently if she tried. She always lived life to the fullest and just took care of business, no matter what the situation was. Nicole was sometimes, though, a contradictory of sorts. She could be your biggest fan, or she could be your critic. Sometimes she could be really tough and simply badass, but then other times she could be the most sensitive and thoughtful person around. And while she loved a great party, she could have just as easily had the best time at home on a quiet evening with her family. And boy, she can make you laugh. Laugh so hard you couldn't stand it. And yet she could break your heart like today because you just miss her so damn much. Nicole will always be a force to be reckoned with. It was such an incredible privilege to have Nick so present in my life and my family's. And it was a true honor to work side by side with her on so many things. I'm comforted knowing that she's making some new rules up where she is now, with her big curl panties on and everything, like she always did. And when it's our time to see her again, we all know it's going to be a better place, because that is just what she did for us here. She always made things better. I have a quick story I'd like to share. It was a while back when Nicole, Angela, and I were out with our husbands. We had a great dinner and we decided to move on for dessert. And so while we were waiting in line in that long line outside of Extraordinary Desserts, Nicole insisted on taking a photo of us girls, and the strangest thing happened. Something that made us all laugh so hard that night that we were getting dirty looks from everyone around. What happened was that no matter how many selfies she took or how many even Dave took of us, Nicole was the only one that you could see in the photos. And the rest of us were in her shadow. It really was crazy, but she shined so brightly that night, all by herself, despite us standing right next to her. She really shined so brightly that night, like she shined so brightly all throughout her life, and like she's shining on us now. So I'd like to end with a quote that her son Parker shared with Nicole during her fight. An arrow can only be shot by pulling it backwards. When life is dragging you back with difficulties, it means it's going to launch you into something great. So just focus and keep aiming. And so Nicole launched her arrow. She did it with remarkable strength, incomprehensible courage, and exquisite grace. It pierced each one of our hearts and minds and will forever have her mark. I love you, Nicole. Thank you.